Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Better Humans. And this time I'm not blessed with one guest, I'm blessed with two. I have the geeks on the other line here. I have Andrea Peer and Susan Leonardson on the line to come and talk about better humans and entrepreneurship and business and marketing and personal development and all the amazing things that we love to talk about as entrepreneurs. How are you both doing? Andrea, go first.
Amazing. Thanks for having us here, Jimmy. I'm just so looking forward to the conversation.
Nice. How are you doing,
Doing
Susan?
awesome.
Yeah?
Doing great. Excited to also be here. We're
Nice.
honored to be guests on Better
Yeah.
Humans.
Oh my gosh. Well, no, I'm honored that you're honored. My little podcast here where I get to talk to amazing people. So that's great. Hey, Susan, what's that hanging up behind you? What is that?
Oh, wrong way. I just happened to be displaying mine, but Andrea and I and a third person in our agency, we are all certified funnel builders, and that is the ClickFunnels certification, which means we actually didn't, you know how there's the old way and then the old way to get certified. We got certified the new way, so I think it's even more of a badge of honor. If you guys, it's like insider, like if you don't know, you don't know, but on how it works.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm just curious for anyone who like maybe like isn't a part of our world or doesn't really know like why is that really significant or like why is it significant to you that and like why do you hang it up?
Yeah. For me, it's significant because I've been working as a funnel builder for like 6 years now. Oh my gosh. And it's just like this physical, tangible badge to show that I have been working my butt off, learning how to build funnels, and I know
Yeah.
funnel strategy. And not only that, but like the way that you actually get that plaque now, and the way that we got ours is actually working with clients and bringing in revenue. So that is why it means that
Oh,
we've
really?
actually have done that. Yeah.
Okay, because I've heard stuff in the past, and now to bring it back into the circle of people who know what the heck we're talking about, right? I've heard in the past that it's like as long as you like do the curriculum and like finish it and like submit the proof that you finished it, that like you
That's
just
the
get the
old way.
That's the old
yeah.
way. Yep. Which I didn't get it. We did not earn it that way because we had zero time to be going through the curriculum because we were building funnels for actual clients. And so it's like,
That's
it was kind of this
amazing.
weird thing of like, I can't get certified because I'm too busy building funnels for clients,
Yeah.
but I want to get certified so I can like have that as a as a
Yeah.
like notch in my belt. And then in came amazing Catherine Jones and like overhauled the
Yay,
entire
Catherine.
program.
Oh man.
And it was no longer based on you did the work and you built the thing the way that we told you to, and then you know, are displaying that you can copy stuff. But now it's you actually got clients. So it's six figures. You have to get six figures in revenue to get it
Oh,
now.
amazing. Oh, that's so good. Hey, by the way, I also love Catherine. She's amazing. Should I reach out to her and
Yeah.
invite her on next?
Heck
Yes.
yes. Talk
Okay.
about a better
It'll have to
human.
be.
Man, she changed our
Oh
life
yeah.
forever. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Um, I it'll have to be in a little while because you guys are my last podcast episode before I have baby number two,
Yay.
and that's oh man, I'm literally like 5 days away, and then it's like shut the laptop, don't even think about it, like go support my wife, go support our now two children. So
Awesome.
oh
It's
here we
exciting.
That's exciting.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I know I'd love to have Catherine on. Like we even go back all the way back. Like she was a part of the original ClickFunnels certified partner
Yeah.
program, which I mean I'm gonna date myself a little bit here in the funnel world, but I helped build that program and the curriculum and all that. So I was the guy who certified people on building the funnels in the agency.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, no humble brags or anything around here. But yeah, it's like man, my tenure with funnels just goes back.
Pretty
Crazy.
It's
incredible.
amazing
Pretty
though.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to be a part of.
Well, speaking of tenure and going back, I actually wanted to take some of our listeners back to kind of how you two actually I'm gonna ask one question and then we're gonna go even further back because I want to know about how you both got started, even in like entrepreneurship and business. But to help bridge that gap, I want to talk about the Geeks group and like the origination and founding of this Facebook group. So I said Andrea go first before, but Susan, what what started all the Geeks group and everything? Like, why was that even an idea for you both?
Yeah. Well, it all started back when ClickFunnels decided to announce their 2.0 software. And just announce, not launch, but announce. So how many years ago is that? 3 now, I think.
Long time. Yeah. Yeah.
And Andrea and I were at Funnel Hacking Live when Russell was on stage announcing it. And we were like, oh my gosh, I know everyone's been waiting for this, but what does this mean for our clients? And at that time, Andrea and I were working separately. Andrea had kind of taken me under her wing and taught and was mentoring me in some of her genius. But we were working separately, separate clients. Kind of in the back of our minds, we knew like somehow we're going to figure out how we can work together. We're going to collaborate, but
Yeah.
we didn't know how because anyone else would have been looking at, like, we were competitors, but we were like, no, there's going to be a way. There's going to be a way we can work together. And so Funnel Hacking Live happened, announcement happened, and we're like, okay, we have to be like on the cutting edge of 2.0 because this is going to be huge. Also, we need to know how we're going to help our clients transition and how are we going to, like, what does this mean? We got to make sure that we know what's going on with it because it's our entire business is helping people build stuff in ClickFunnels. So we just simply were like, let's just like meet together every week and talk about it. And hey, it would be really like, let's invite some other people to join us to mastermind around it. And it'd be really cool if we kind of just like let people listen in too. Let's create I think we did podcast at first, right? We went podcast route. And we're like, let's just let people listen to our conversations around ClickFunnels 2.0. And bear in mind, it's not launched yet. There's nothing to talk about
Oh,
other than
so
everything
was
we
all
were
like
predicting things. Yeah.
I feel
was
like I remember
all-
that a little bit too.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And then very
It was like
quickly we were like,
we were like predicting. Yeah.
yeah. It's like, what do we hope this is going to be? What do we like if we could get ClickFunnels employees' ears, which ended up happening, it was great. What would we want to tell them like we want in the software, And so we very quickly realized like podcast was not the format for that because we were like sharing our screen the entire time we were having conversations. So we started the Facebook group and we started publishing our videos to YouTube. Like basically we were going live every week for like 3 hours. It was crazy. And we did that for a year because ClickFunnels 2.0 didn't launch for a really long time after it was announced. And even after a year, it still wasn't launched. It was beta, very limited people were in. And I think it was, 2 years before it actually was like publicly available to everybody. So that whole time we were publishing content and building this group that we didn't really intend to build. It was like 10 people that we were like, let's have come be part of this. And then it just exploded when the next Funnel Hacking Live happened, because I think Facebook was recommending our group to everyone when in the Funnel Hacking Live group. And so people
And we
were
the
like,
top YouTube
oh,
videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
and our group name was CF2.0 Geeks or Geekout, or I forgot what
Geek
it was.
out. Yeah. No, I remember
CF2.0
because it was
Geekout.
like I think I joined in, you guys were either at like 200 or like 280 or something like that. For some reason the number 283
Yeah.
pops up in my head. You guys had already like kind of amassed a cult following of people who were like, I'm super excited about this too. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because a little bit of transparency on my end where I was at this point in time is that 2.0 has been a project since 2019. And I can kind of talk about this now because like we're beyond down the line, right? But it's like it was like a shining, it was a flashlight in a cave for me because as product research for ClickFunnels, I work on stuff a lot of times that is like 6 to 8 months down the line, like won't see the light of day until it like finally deploys and launches. And we've brought that lead time down a good bit, but thanks AI. But a lot of this stuff is like I don't get to talk about it ever And then all of a sudden there was like this Facebook group where everyone was like super excited and pumped about all the things that I was excited and pumped, but I didn't get to talk about. And I was like, Dad, I want to be in there. Like,
You came to
how
geek
can I
out
get in
with
there and
us.
stir up all the noise? Yeah. So I loved, like happening upon your Facebook group all the way back when. And it was honestly, it was like, oh my gosh, finally the people who are so excited about this thing that like I've been spending the last like year and a half of my life, like deep diving into researching on like comparative, qualitative, quantitative, like conversations, NDAs, like all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my, there we go. There's my people.
And it was so funny,
uh,
Jimmy, too, because I know like we had you on as a guest, I think, and like talked to you. And I just remember like I was like, okay, it's like reading tea leaves. Like if we could read Jimmy's face on is our prediction right? Like it was so fun.
man, yeah. I guess it's as long as I didn't verbally say what was going to happen, right? No, I'm sure,
Yeah,
the lawyer's
right.
probably wagging the finger at me like, no, no, no.
No, it's
Anyways,
funny. I think we had you on and we had you talking about the members area, the courses,
Yeah.
and I think even still today, like that video is one of our top videos on YouTube, and it's like so inaccurate at this point.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
well,
hilarious.
maybe we should get
never
together and
do
do a
it.
refresher because courses
Let's
are actually
do
insane.
it. Oh man.
Yeah, they are.
Actually, what I can disclose to you right now is there is an even more insane way to build courses, and I can't tell you about it.
Oh no.
Yep, but I'm demoing it tomorrow morning at 9.
Nice, nice. Who are you demoing it to? Public or private?
Private, internal.
Oh, oh, okay.
So
What an open loop.
here it is,
What
dangle it in front of you, and then bye bye.
Considering our entire business is built around courses, we're gonna have to figure out how to get that knowledge from you at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk when the little recording light isn't on.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is amazing.
Anyway.
So okay, now so I understand that like how your Facebook group, your Geek Out group came about. You guys were like in the ClickFunnels world and in the ClickFunnels sphere, but what actually tripped you both into becoming entrepreneurs? Because like people sometimes, very rare, but sometimes people come across ClickFunnels and like they're in their like 9 to 5 or whatever, and then they like take a gamble on themselves and being like, you know what, I'm gonna try entrepreneurship, and like ClickFunnels seems like the tool for me. A fair amount of people do that, but like a lot of times it's I am an entrepreneur. I'm in the act of entrepreneurship, and I see this tool, and it's going to support my efforts. So, Andrea, how did you become an entrepreneur, let alone become a part of like the ClickFunnels world?
Yeah, I think I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, but I did the typical high achieving route. So I did military and then I went back to school, got overeducated, did 18 years in corporate. And right when I made the shift into like working for myself, I was in Silicon Valley. We had just taken on another round of investment capital. And I basically just kind of ticked off the wrong investor and got myself fired. And which all of like the bootstrap entrepreneurial space, that's even more of a niche of entrepreneurship, is like I found my home there, just because of my experience with investors.
Can you just pop open the hood really quick on like you
Yeah,
pissed off an investor in the business?
yeah,
What
yeah.
happened?
I was so okay, so you should know something about me at this time in my life. I was like my ego was running the show. I thought I thought I could do no wrong because I was the one that they sent in to like close the big deals at Google and Apple and Microsoft and so like I was what you would traditionally be called a sales engineer. And so I would go in with the sales team and we closed these big deals and again my ego was pretty out of control. So I thought like I couldn't be touched, because I was bringing in all these big deals. So we're going to leave him unnamed. But when he came in and he was starting to have me report back to him, just kind of what my unit did and what what we did, I thought that he loved what we did. You know what I mean? Like I didn't understand the world of investors, and I didn't understand that like the purpose of the company and the knowledge and the like the things I all laid my hat on, right? Like he could care less. It was about dollars and cents and margin and getting us to a point where we could either be acquired or go public. I didn't understand any of that at the time. So in my hubris and in my passion, I was just basically, the things he was asking me to do and report on, I felt were like a waste of time because it took away from the mission. And so I guess after saying no enough times, and there was also, I don't want to get into like all of the board dynamics at that time, but it was pretty much predominantly male, and they just it was a very interesting culture. And so yeah, he didn't much appreciate me saying no to him. So, but again, I thought I was untouchable because I was like, how could they ever let me go? I'm the only one in the company that does what I do.
It's okay. It'll be good in post.
But yeah, no, that just blew up right in my face. So, which, I mean, it was a beautiful blessing in disguise. And the CEO at the time, he loved me. So again, I thought I was like the golden child, but that's when I learned a really good lesson about just the role of an investor when they come into your company and how I would never do that ever in a company.
Yeah.
So,
His job is to exit. That's his job.
Yeah, which to me, like, this was my life. Like, I had spent 18 years of my life in this topic, I was like, how could you ever, like, and we were the leading company in this particular area. So it was like, even if you exit, like, this is my life, you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah, so it was just it was a different way of thinking that I didn't understand. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So you tip this investor off.
Yeah.
What happens next? Like you leave this company, where do you go next?
I got about a year of severance. So I negotiated pretty hardcore because of the other things that were happening. And so negotiated pretty hardcore and got a year of severance. And so then I moved to Washington out of Silicon Valley, and I was going to start up a consulting gig because that's what I thought entrepreneurship was with my skill set. But every time I went back, I was just going back into the same sickness of a business that I was trying to get out of in the first place. So I was like, this can't be it. And so I started to just basically, at that time, money was running out. So I was Lyft driving during the day, listening to everything I possibly could about like, what is this entrepreneurship thing? And then at nighttime, I was making sandwiches at a like fancy deli. And I had put my last $3,000 down for, I'm not going to name the company, but it was a company that made big claims about entrepreneurship. And I just felt like they were always trying to sell me. And I was like, if this is what entrepreneurship is, like, this sucks. Like, this is not what I want. And so, but it just so happened in one of the modules, there was this like young guy who was all happy and go lucky, but everything that he was saying made complete sense. And I just felt like he was genuine and honest. And it was like this like light in the dark, to be really dramatic about it. And I was like, who is this guy? And then one thing leads to another. It turns out it's Russell Brunson. It's his expert secret books. Spent all my last travel money getting to FHL for the first year, and kind of the rest is history. I was like, this is it. I found my community. I found my people. I found my way. I had no idea what I was doing, and then I found Catherine Jones. And that's how I figured out like, oh, I could build an agency doing this. And that's kind of the beginning.
Okay. So when you finally started like the business, it no longer was consultancy. It was agency. No. So like what was agency.
And the craziest, most serendipitous, divine intervention was that the very first agency project that I got was a membership build. That was not something I asked for. It just happened to be a membership build.
Right.
And then the next one was a membership build. And then the next one. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot like making SaaS products where it's like multi-touch. It's not just a funnel. It's like, how do you actually create an experience inside a membership area? So I was like, this is amazing. And so and everybody needs a funnel who builds a membership. So that just was a natural product. But yeah, it was pure divine intervention at that point. Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Susan, take me back. I wish we could like rewind, like maybe I'll rewind Andrea back.
So while Andrea is going through all of that, it is kind of, it's like this parallel thing. It's funny. So when our company, I'm gonna not answer your question, and then I'm gonna go answer your question, but I'm gonna tie it together. So our company is Geekout, and it's we build stuff in ClickFunnels and we build courses and membership areas, but The bigger purpose behind our company is around education. We believe that education should be accessible, not free, like other people might interpret that, but accessible, meaning the typical path, at least in the US, where all of the young people are being basically corralled into higher education, whether it's right for them or not, isn't exactly the right way to do it. We have amazing, smart people in the world that have this expertise. If we can just help them be able to package up their knowledge and be able to sell it to make it more accessible to other people so that they don't have to go the higher education route. So why that ties into my story is because I'm not a graduate of college. Andrea and I are opposites. Andrea is like PhD. I am like finished 2 years and did not get a degree out of it. And why that is important is because we both took different paths and we've both like came together. And one of them provided, Andrea a specific skill set and skill sets, I would say. And the other path, took me a different path and I got different skill sets and we collaborate and we work well together. So my story is that I would also agree that I have always had an entrepreneurial spirit. My parents were business owners. I worked in their business as a teenager, like sweeping the shop and, doing like receivables, like anything that they could put me to work doing. So I knew I was going to be a business owner. However, I watched them not be able to take vacations, work their butts off, because if they took vacations, money doesn't come in. They can't pay their employees, which were a lot of our family members.
Right.
And that is not the life I wanted. And so I was like, there's got to be a way to make this happen. You got to be able to like not have to be, under someone's thumb, and have a boss and still get freedom from being an entrepreneur, being a business owner. And so I knew that I wanted to do that, and I knew there had to be a way. However, I did not have a college degree. And at the time, I didn't know what my options were to be able to work from home. I didn't have kids yet, but I started a photography business. It didn't go very far because it just highly competitive. Photography businesses are hard. I actually worked in a studio for a while, so like I had training. It's hard.
Okay.
So I went the MLM route because I was like, I want to work from home. I don't want to
Heck
be
yeah.
in someone's. I don't want to, I don't want to be an employee. But I don't have a degree. I don't have an expertise. I don't have a skill. So that's my only option. So I did that for 7.5 years. I was not very successful at it. I kept it going. I got to a point where it was like at least profitable, but it wasn't.
Can you say like what the product was or the company or anything?
Oh, sure. Yeah, actually, absolutely. Okay. So I stuck with one company for a good solid 6.5 years before I was like, this isn't working. And then as a lot of MLM people do, it's like, maybe it's the company. And then you start jumping companies, right?
Yeah.
So I started jumping companies near the end because I'm like, there's got to be something that can work better, and grass is greener on the other side. It's not. So the company that I was with the most is called Thrive Life. I love them. I still buy their products. It's freeze-dried food.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so awesome. So anyway, there's a plug for them. I don't sell it. I haven't for years.
There's no affiliate link. Hang on, let me go sign up for a quick
affiliate link. I'm not in the system except as a customer. Yeah, no, it's awesome. So loved it, right? But was not very good at it. Or good at selling it, and it's like in-home parties. And I started having kids at this point. I'm like, I cannot go do in-home parties when I have young kids at home. And my husband works, 9 to 5, as an employee, which he loves, by the way. And so it just didn't work. So I was like, okay, there's gotta be a way to do this business, MLM, online. There's gotta be a way to do it online. And this is, I think timeline-wise, this is probably right before or right when Steve Larson started making his secret MLM hacks thing, but
Yeah.
I didn't find it. I didn't find it at that time. I found some other person who worked for a different company, and she's like, you can do this online. You can just do presentations online. You don't need to do in-home parties, blah, blah, blah. So I joined that program, built my first webinar. That's how it introduced me to ClickFunnels. So I got introduced to ClickFunnels first because she's like, you got to use ClickFunnels to build the funnel. And she taught how to make the webinar. She ended up closing her business down, basically leaving us high and dry.
Yeah.
But before she totally hosed all of us, she actually sent the source of where she learned what she learned. And lo and behold, what she sent to introduce us was the interview that Russell Brunson did with Kaylin Poulin and her husband. Like the very first interview, like when they were being successful. And it's like,
and they're basically saying, they're like, we had our last $1,000, and then we were like, we wrote down, we paused the video and wrote down everything.
Exactly,
and then
that one.
Video.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so this is my new mentor now, and ClickFunnels is amazing. I'm gonna do that. I didn't stick with it very long. I'm like, this sucks. Because again, I was still trying to apply MLM to it. It's hard.
Okay.
It's really hard to do that. And so I left. And then sorry, this is a long story. But what ultimately changed things for me was I was like, I don't want to do MLM anymore, but I don't know what to do. I had a neighbor reach out to me. She's like, hey, you're pretty good at computers. Can you like clean out my inbox? She had like 300,000 emails in her inbox or something like that. And
wow.
I was like, sure, I could help do that. $15 an hour. And she's like, okay. And I was like, hey, I have other skills that people will pay money for. And so that happened like around Christmas of 2018. I started researching like how to start a business, like, as a freelancer, just doing these odd job things. And because Facebook is awesome at targeting people, Lauren Golden's ad popped up in front of me for her Free Mamas group, which is how to be a freelancer. So 1 week later, I bought Lauren's program in January 1st, 2019. And that 1 month later led me to Catherine Jones, which I bought her program. And then that was 2019. That's when my business started to happen. Andrea and I connected in Catherine's program in CF Design School, kind of knew of each other, but didn't really connect. Andrea has a fun story about that, her perspective. But then we connected in another program where we were in together, where we got to know each other more intimately because it was a very small group. And that's when we were like, I was like, oh, Andrea has something that I need to be able to serve my clients better. And Andrea was excited about that someone was interested in learning what she was doing. And so we connected, and that's when she started mentoring me, like I mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, long story.
Okay. So then the first business you technically started was MLM, right?
If you want to say that's starting a business, that's a gray area to me. I don't know that it counts. It wasn't my own product, and I don't know. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that comment. But
well,
but I was
we'll see what ends up happening. Yeah. So you want to know something really ironic? It's weird. I feel like I'm a Susan Andrea hybrid sitting over here right now. That's because in my story, I graduated and went to college, and I only went to college for three years, a little past the third year. But basically, when I went to school, I started step one was like get in the class, like in my the studies that I actually wanted to take, computer science, mathematics, like all that stuff. And like I blew through all of that in 2 years. And then the counselor was like, hey, wait. You didn't do any of your gen ed stuff. You didn't do any health. You didn't take any sociology or psychology classes. Like, you can't graduate. And I was like, I don't care about that. Like, sociology? Like, that has nothing to do with me and like what I want to do. But they're like, nope, you have to do it to graduate because you have to be a well-rounded student. So dumb, right? So I get to that third year and I'm like, this isn't it. I'm out. They're complaining from a podium about problems and like not offering solutions. I think that's one of those signs that lets you know that like you're inherently an entrepreneur at heart. If you can't sit across from somebody as they like repetitively whine and complain and not actually like try to do something to better. Like, where's your not if you want to complain about something, where's your nonprofit? Where's your product? Where's your solution? Where's your audience? Like, come on, like get it together. Um, but yeah, like that was me dropping out of school, and all the while I was sitting there like I was in the funnel world too, and I had started my funnel agency. And so on top of that, on top of working with Russell and Todd on stuff and doing my funnels and going to school, I was earning more money than my professors. And I was like, Russell says follow the piles of money. And that guy just started making less money than me. And I'm sitting at a desk in front of him. Like this is not lining up. So I left, right? And I also did MLM in college. I was in a which is really funny. So like do you guys know Eddie Malouf from it was For Media Marketing and now he's Bad Marketing with Ashton Shanks?
No.
Okay. Really huge ads
Sounds like
agency. Yeah, I mean like go look him up. He's an absolutely he's an incredible person. B, he's built an incredible company. Really, really amazing stuff on the ads and traffic side of things. And it's really ironic because he's the guy who closed me on doing an MLM like forever ago. I was like 19 or 20. And he closed me on doing an MLM by like literally inviting me over to a guy who was in my comp sci class. He said like, you have to get over here right now. And I was like, why? What's going on? I thought that he was either being mugged or robbed or like someone was going to hit him with a baseball bat. So I was like, how do I get my baseball bat? Like, cause I have to go fight somebody now because this guy's in trouble. No, they sat me down and they pitched me an MLM in an apartment room. But it was Eddie. It was like Eddie Malouf. And it was just crazy because then it's like, okay, we do MLM for a few years together. We go our separate ways. And all of a sudden come full circle. I just got him like intro to Todd and they're like, he may or may not be doing some like ads for us, but he just did like a bunch of like work and configuration for us. And he has found massive success in the digital marketing and the funnels and the info and education and the e-commerce world. I'm like, oh my God, like it's all come full circle. So dropped out of college, did MLM, but also Andrea, researcher, like I've gone and done like a bunch of like courses and like seminars and like workshops and stuff like that all around the country in order to learn UI UX research and all that. And so I'm like, man, there's a reason why I really like you two. And it's probably because I see a lot of me and you or you and me. I don't know. I don't know how that works because usually you want to say because y'all came first, right? But yeah.
Well, I think
really
shared
crazy.
threads, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, that's crazy. Okay, so you two get together, you start making magic happen. How has business been since like we'll say like since you guys started getting a little bit of traction, like working on stuff with 2.0, but really like doing your membership offer together, like what does that look like and how have things been for you yourselves and your clients?
Man, that's such a tough question to answer.
Give me the real version. I want the real
Well,
version.
first of all, I think I couldn't ever imagine it doing it without the team that we have. I mean, Susan's partnership and the team that we have is just, it's been really hard to, I'm not even going to say to make that sacrifice, but to share, share in the profits amongst really like 3 or 4 people. I think it's a difficult business model, but I think I'm just like, I am so eternally grateful that the team that we have has agreed to that, because I think all of us know that we're building something that is really promising and we just believe it should be in the world. And I think that's, I used to always have this saying of like, my dream is to work on things I love with people I love, in places I love. And I feel like all 3 of those things have come true finally. And it's incredible.
Huh.
So the big picture, it's amazing. And I'm very grateful. The very tactical day to day, it's really stressful. But I think I think maybe in the past 6 months since I think we joined, we were predominantly like just ClickFunnels world and just, everything that Russell put out, like he was our guy, and then when Captain Rainforest is like, they are our people. And we're really big on loyalty. We're really big on like, if we have a mentor and we're paying for that, we're going to follow that. Cause I think that's where entrepreneurs mess up. And so it's just how we operate in integrity. And so but we expanded our horizon a little bit in the past year to Steve and Marley with their Titans, and then to Josh Forty with Golden Mike. And I think that those two influences and us broadening have fundamentally changed our business. And I think only maybe in the past year, I feel like we're finally like in our stride, in our zone of genius, and have offers and clients that are of that. And so it's been really exciting. But it meant letting go a lot of identity stuff around funnel building, which was, I think, hard for us harder for me. Susan was really good at pushing us, but I think harder for me because it was how I started. You know what I mean? Of like having an agency. But yeah, we're finally at a point now where we're in our zone. Yeah.
So what I hear is that, and literally because you mentioned it earlier, you have a hard time letting things go.
Yeah.
You're like this is the plan. This is our zone of genius. This is how we operate. So Susan, does that mean that you let things go really easily, or did you also struggle through that and you just struggled in silence?
Okay, so when we're talking about letting things go, I think it depends on like what we're talking about, first of all.
Okay.
So as far as like the direction of our business, and we struggled with what I think a lot of freelancers / agencies, like service providers, struggle with, of having too many offers, offering too many services. Yep. Serving like every client that comes to you needs something slightly different, and so you're gonna like you're gonna cater to them, and so you can never really build processes around it because everybody's different. And we struggled with that for a long time, and I think I could just see early on something Andrea, like, okay, just me being able to say what I'm about to say is going to tell you the difference between Andrea and I. So when we're talking about like the personality test type things, I don't even know what I am, but Andrea knows what I am. And I know that we're polar opposites. Just the fact that I don't know what I am probably tells everybody that what they need to know about me. But I am more like organization or based, systems based, and efficiency based, right? And so I think I just realized early that like if we are going to get our business to a place where we could scale it, we needed to simplify it. And it was really, I didn't even know how. I didn't know the answer how until we actually had, a mentor or coach tell us how. Because you can't see, you're too close. We're too close to the thing. We're too close to the baby. Yeah. And it's like, I know something needs to be different, but I don't know what needs to be different. And so we probably for the past year, we were exploring a lot of different directions we could go, like, just playing with the ideas of like, well, what if we didn't do that? What if we cut this? What if we, and so it really, was in the last several months where we went just like, what, let's just like all in, we're going to do it. Let's just cut out. Like, so we, dropped some services. We have like we have 2 offers, but one is basically the same as the other. It's just like slightly more, and so we're like on a direction that it's like, oh, like we're in such a good place right now. It's like we can see, how this is going to come together and work. Where it's like before we hoped how it would work out, but the path was so murky. It's like, I don't know how this is going to work out. I know what we want. I don't know how we're going to get there. Where now it's like everything's coming into alignment, which is really cool.
Wow. Yeah, so how do you guys see, and this is just me, like, because I've asked a couple of people this, and they're usually people that I know that like they provide some level of service, and like things are becoming a lot clearer. You get a lot more like systems, productization of the service. Has AI thrown a wrench in anything that you guys have been doing? Did it get better, or are you guys like, it's whatever?
I think it's okay. So I have to answer. So first of all, I think Susan should answer the majority of this question because she leverages AI to the nth degree and is just like a master at it. And I think it's incredible what she's done, and we couldn't run our business without it. But I do have to say just one thing from my perspective before she really like illuminates what we've been able to do. I think that the way people think about AI because it has so much potential. I think they go too far in terms of what AI can actually substitute. So like right now, if you look at like Ryan Dice, right, and a lot of the big guys, they're now saying like, oh, just have like an AI agent that can be inside your course, and then it's like you're talking to the AI agent, you know, and they're going to substitute for courses and all of this other stuff. And I'm like, no, like it's not. I think that there is a direct correlation, and we know this from history. There is a direct correlation with the degree to which technology rises, our demand for human connection rises. So, and we get even more sensitive to when things are not human but acting like human. It's a known phenomena that we know, and so I think AI is incredible, and I would never want to do our business without AI, and I'm so encouraged by it, and I want to dive deeper. But I also think that we cannot lose the fact that we are still humans who desire human connection. And when we're talking about the game of transformation, there is nothing short of a human holding space for another human that allows that to be true. It is not AI that's going to help us do that. It is human to human. And so anyway, that's my short of it. And I wish that the conversation was a little bit more balanced between the amazing innovation and excitement of AI and the how do we still infuse the human part into that equation. I feel like that part of the conversation is not prevalent enough, and it needs to be. So that's my high horse on AI. But Susan,
That's exactly why like when I work with clients in my agency and my offer, like we do course and community. If you truly want transformation, like you need the accountability, you need the social proof, you need to be in the space having the conversations with the people going in the trenches going through the same stuff as you. And if you don't have that, like you'll do it a day, you'll do it a week, you probably won't do it a month, and you definitely won't do it a year. Right?
And even if you look at like the system-based aspects of that, like let's look at Duolingo. I think it's one of the best experiences out there for behavioral change that we see on the market, right? But it still required a very intentional human. Like if you listen to the UX design behind Duolingo, it is a very intentional human to human design. They are extending their experience through technology, but it is a very intentional human-based design. And it is not like AI created the concept. It not at all. Yeah.
Interesting. Man.
So
okay.
In that human to human, because what we do is we are creating if Duolingo is considered like just for terms purposes of easy conversation is like kind of the middleman. It's the human created the app to connect to the human, right? It's the middle. That's pretty much what we do, right? Like in our business. And so because we're talking about like human to human connection, we're not talking about like one-on-one all the time, like face to face, you know. But it's allowing, like, using technology to create that human connection and not fake human connection.
Right.
And I think that's my biggest issue with how people are using AI is that they are, the other thing about us is we work with people who are deep experts in their stuff. And it really irritates me when I see people talking about like, go create your course in 1 hour with AI. And it's like, is that really going to serve your people the best way possible? And also it's opening up a world for people to just go create something on information that they don't know anything about, and I think that's where it will be detrimental to society.
Do you see all the offers, the $27 like multi-course offers that are flying around where it's like you get this and this and this and this and this, and it's literally like AI outlines and bullet points, and it's like this doesn't actually, it doesn't help me do anything.
It's just like they went and they asked ChatGPT or whatever to create a course on X and they packaged it up and now it's like I could have gone and asked it for that. Thank you. Like you're not actually helping me learn and implement anything.
Right.
Bingo.
But where we love AI, because as Andrea said, like I can geek out on AI all the time. Like if I could do like eliminate everything else that I do in the business and only do AI stuff, I would. But we do leverage it, like writing copy and writing content. We do leverage it for idea creation, and we are leveraging it even in our processes for, our service in, we're in beginning stages of seeing how we can leverage it to like kind of help us replace a little bit of what Andrea does, because what Andrea does is so unique. But all of those things have to have a like human touch. They all have to, like, it's never perfect. You always have to, go back and refine and edit it. But also you have to know what you're doing to begin with. Like I get, like, I will go write copy for a funnel using AI and it takes me still like an hour. It's not that I'm just like putting the information in, letting it give me give me the output, and then I go and put it on the page. Like, it's like, no, ChatGPT didn't understand that I need it to speak to this thing in this part. And then I need it to speak about this thing and this part. And so you still are architecting and like building what it needs to be. You can't just rely on it to give you what you need. It's going to be garbage. So it's a tool to help you do things faster and more efficiently, but it's not replacing those things yet. It's not good enough to do that, especially if you're giving it not very much input. One of the things that we do is we to infuse that human element into AI, we love to build. Right now we're using ChatGPT, but we know that there's other things out there, but ChatGPT allows us to do those custom ChatGPTs, the custom GPTs. And so we build one of those for each one of our clients, and we have a specific way that we do that, where it's not just, I know a lot of people use those to create like, help me like create my YouTube video, like there's those custom ones, or like help me create like the title for my YouTube video. We're using it more to create like their personality, so like they could ask it to help them form ideas or ask it to help them create content, and it just knows everything about them and their business and their voice. So it's not really trained in how to do a task. It's more trained in them and their business. So that's one of the big ways that we leverage it.
So you use it to extract more of their humanity so that you can communicate more of their humanity with their target audience. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. It's like it's making it easier for them to express their humanity, themselves. Otherwise, it's a hard game, playing the content game, playing the funnel game, like coming up with new stuff all the time, knowing how to talk about what you do. Like a lot of entrepreneurs get hung up on that part, and it helps push through that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because we spend about anywhere between 10 to 15 hours between Susan and I with a client at the very beginning, where we're extracting and organizing their customer journey, and where we're extracting their marketing message that we call, the overarching marketing message. And so, the bots that Susan creates for our clients is infusing all of that in. So then when they get it, it's kind of a little bit of it is their voice and tone, but it's been infused with marketing language and with journey language, so that the output helps them to be able to express not just from a teaching and education standpoint where they're comfortable, but from a marketing and a sales and a social perspective. So super cool.
Okay, really fast. You did not just drop journey language in conjunction with marketing language, and we only have 4 minutes left.
Sequel.
Really fast. Okay, really fast. Elevator pitch me on like, give me the 30-second spiel on journey language. What is that?
I love it. Okay. Susan, do you want to do it?
No, this is your area. Okay, you do it.
Okay. So, Okay, so as Susan said, so we are very passionate about creating education experiences, but actually that promote behavioral change. It's not just info vomit models. So if that's something that you are interested in, which we know the benefits of that is that it actually leads to MRR, it actually leads to people ascending in your world, it actually leads to them changing, which then in turn they're like, I'm going to stay with you and keep giving you money. If you're interested in those things, then there really is just one path to do it. And the first path is, well, you have to like architect what the journey is and be intentional about that. The second thing is you have to have a system to deliver the journey, which is what we call, we have a proprietary concept called Journey IQ, which basically is the technology and the tracking system to be able to make meaningful journeys with technology, aka ClickFunnels. And then the last piece is then, okay, now you actually have to like bring your current customers into that journey so that you can start to see the benefits in our MRR, in reduction of churn, in ascension rate, in them actually doing the thing. And that is where you actually reach this apex of, okay, they're doing the thing, they're paying for the thing, they're staying in my world, I'm getting great marketing, I'm getting increased MRR, I'm decreasing churn, and all those things. So that's our kind of proprietary framework that we bring everybody through.
Okay. So marketing language gets them in the door.
Yeah.
And journey language is almost like it to me. It sounded like fulfillment language. It's
Oh, it is.
you said like you got marketed to. You said yes to this thing. Now I need to
Yes.
give you this thing that you asked for.
And I need you to get to actually do the thing. So it's
Right.
like it's not just like made a promise. Here's the delivery. It's like I made a promise to help you with a transformation. I didn't promise you a course. I promised you an outcome. So it's like
Yeah.
how do I actually fulfill on the outcome, not just the delivery? Yeah.
Dang, that's so cool. I wish I literally because obviously we share a lot of the same space, and I would love nothing more than to keep geeking out with you two.
We're in.
But we're literally at time. Like I
know.
can't believe it flew past. So oh man,
Crazy.
we're gonna have to do round two. Or when y'all launch your podcast, you can bring me on and I can try
Yeah.
my best to keep up with you guys geeking out on all this stuff.
Yes.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
you know what would be
That's
really
So-
cool to me is us actually like do like stories from the trenches. So it's like I would love to just geek out with you on that of just the like, hey, here's like what we help customers do and how we thought about the problem. Cause I think we're in the same problem space. And so I would love to dive deep into like, how do you think about the problem? And that would be so
Yeah.
fun. So
Well, I'll drop this since you guys dropped the journey language bomb on me. I'll drop this for you. Minimum effective dosage for transformation. That's when I sit down with clients, I'm like, hey, listen, people don't need more info. They don't need you to spend 18 hours on a course if you could have got the message across in 3,
yeah.
right? Minimum effective dosage for transformation, because the point was not that they got the information. The point was that they changed,
Yeah. Yep.
right? So that's a huge value that I drive in my business.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Because progress is why people stay. It's they feel the progress. You know. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Okay, so when people tune in and they get to all the way to the end of the video, usually when I ask like, what's the best way for somebody to connect with the two of you?
Yes.
We hang out on Facebook, but if you want to come check out whatever it is that we have going on, our site is geekoutconnect.com, and that'll connect you to all of our social media and our group. Our group right now is called Get Paid to Geek Out on Facebook. You can come join that. And that is where we spend our time. We do like book club, we do ClickFunnels stuff, we do journey stuff. So yep, that's where we hang out.
And if someone wanted to follow each of you respectively, like can they look for y'all on Facebook and like either shoot a friend request or a follow or something? I love that.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Find our names.
Yeah,
we're on Facebook.
I really try to drive you know, we're humans, we're people. We're not like, don't just like my tweets, you know, shoot me a message, ask me a question. Which y'all don't go flood their inboxes just because I'm open to questions, but I'm sure that they are too. They're two incredible humans. They're better humans for sure. And that's exactly why I wanted to have them on the podcast, is because they care, they mean well, and they're doing amazing things for themselves and for their clients. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. This has been another episode of Better Humans, hanging out with the geeks, Susan Leonardson and Andrea Peer. Thank you both. I appreciate you coming on the line.
Thank you. Thanks, Jimmy.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome. I'll catch you all in the next episode.